We want to say shout out to our sponsors, Watchman Cigars, Operation Decisive Victory, Webmerized, and Red Hill Brewing. Without you, this episode would not be possible. Hey, hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast, where it's our take on life, liberty, and the pursuit of gravy, while you, the listener, are invited to come up on the front porch, grab a beverage, and set a spell. We've got a great show lined up for you, as always. But before we begin, let me introduce you to our starting lineup. We've got Magic Man. He's running the Facebook Live and the YouTube stream and manning the chat. So what up, Magic Man?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
I, of course, be your illustrious host, Biggin. And how about you? Producer Brian is away, and he is, I think, he's on administrative leave, to be honest with you. I caught him with a box of Krispy Kreme. It wasn't pretty. It involved like a kite, a 9-iron, and a bowling ball. So we just had to give him a break. He's just kind of lost it. I'm just kidding. He's like hunting or hiking or some manly man thing right now. So anyway, he's got the week off, and so he's not here with us. But across the way sits the pride of Anderson, South Carolina. But most of you probably know him best as the Silver Tongue one, 2020's honorable mention motorcycle salesman of the year, the inventor of the redneck egg roll. Give it up on old Mike number one. It's Mojo. How about you, buddy?
Hey guys, it's kind of a honor to be back for a minute. So I appreciate you guys inviting me back on. And
absolutely.
Anyway, appreciate you guys for tuning in. You can find us on the Facebooks at Southern Fried Philosophy. You can also find us on the Twitters and Instagram at SFP Radio. Also, wherever you subscribe, inscribe to podcast, you can check us out there at Southern Fried Philosophy. Just go there and hit the old little dinger button, the alarm icon, the subscribe, whatever your podcast aggregate has. You can just go there and make sure you subscribe to us. Give us a rating and a review. That's the most important thing. I could care less if you subscribe. Just give us a rating and a review. That's how we move up the old podcast algorithms. And just check us out on all the socials, Facebook, Southern Fried Philosophy, our website, southernfriedphilosophy.com. Also, if you have any questions, would like to be a guest, check us out at sfpradio at gmail.com.
Absolutely. And also, if you would please ever so nicely, if you're, go to YouTube, type in Southern Fried Philosophy, you'll see our show come up. If you'll just subscribe to that thing, tickle it, poke it, hug it, do whatever you want to do with it. Yeah. We would appreciate that. That'd be great. If you are at home and want to start your own podcast, why don't you shoot producer Brian an email once he's back from admin leave at headlines@sfpradio.com. If you'd like to be a show sponsor, shoot me an email at sfpradio.com. Your business or organization, whatever have you, will be shot all around across the world, all over these 50 states. It's messy. It's a lot of cleanup, but hey, we'd appreciate it. Shoot me an email at sfpradio@gmail.com. Next week, we have our friend Gwen Traversy. She is with the Lutheran Services Carolina. She was a foster child, and now she is recruiting foster parents. And she's going to tell us her story of being in the foster care system and being helping recruit foster care parents. We want to say shout out to our listeners from California. Guys, you Californians, I don't know why, but you guys are doing some strong work. When we look at our numbers, you guys are pulling it. So we really appreciate that. Thank you, California, for listening to the show. We still need Alaska. We're still working on that. Sarah Palin, I need you to get back with me. Come on now. This is going on long enough. But soon we will we'll try to call somebody in Alaska like we did with Vermont and North Dakota. Things have just happened this week. That was not made that possible. So, alas, we'll try to get that done.
Hey,
all right, Jim, go ahead.
Just Patreon. I forgot to mention Patreon. So,
right.
I know we're taking businesses, personal sponsorships. But if you're really enjoying the content of the podcast, go to patreon.com/SFP Radio. You have the different tiers there. Would love to have you guys subscribe to that. And yeah, just become a
Absolutely.
sponsor. Anyway, individuals, businesses, however
What
you want
have
to do
you?
it.
Yep. I'm going to ask you, like I ask you gentlemen every week, how you be doing? So we're going to go to Magic Man. Magic Man, how you be doing?
Doing great. It's a nice day. Talk about
Here's the weather report.
Here's the weather report. No, doing well. Just staying busy with work and helping my wife get her business off the ground. So
Nice.
Our listeners out there, you'll be hearing more about that here, hopefully very soon.
Yep.
But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
It's marketing directly to West Virginians, so that'll be good.
What is this business? I'm curious now.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll talk about it a little bit. She is she's been doing it for several years, but we just now became official. We're incorporated. It's bath products like soaps and bath bombs and bath body butters and say that 5 times fast. Bath teas, just
Bath
stuff,
body butters,
stuff for your skin and your hair. And it's the company is called Crave, and so like I said, we'll be hearing more about it once we get the website up, and that should hopefully be happening pretty soon. We're just waiting for the folks that do our website to get it up, and yeah, good stuff.
Nice.
Well, congrats.
Thank you, sir.
I tell you, if it's called Crave and it's got butter in it, I feel like I just want to eat it. And I've seen pictures, and I have some of this soap, and it just looks edible. Like legitimately, I just want to eat it.
A lot of people are like, "Man, that looks good enough to eat." And we said, "Not if you want to recreate that scene from Christmas Story with the soap in the mouth." I guarantee it won't taste very well.
Mojo, how you been doing? It's been a minute. All right.
Uh-oh, we lost him.
We lost Mojo. He can't hear us. So I don't know what we're doing. He's giving me these signs. I think I'm supposed to steal second. Like I can see him on the audio, but am I supposed to steal or bunt? I don't know what I'm doing. So those of you on the Facebook Live and the YouTube Live, there's that.
You've got this.
All right. Well, all right. We will, considering most of our shows are going to revolve around Mojo's thing, we might be dealing with some issues. You might want to try. Can you hear us at least? He can't hear us.
That's why he said his earbuds weren't working.
All right. Can you, Magic Man? Can you tell him? Well, this is high production value right here.
Hold up signs. So for those that are listening from YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, this is some of the magic you get to see behind the scenes.
And can't have nothing.
All right. I think I'm back.
Oh,
what just happened there?
Can you hear?
Can
you hear us okay?
I can, kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of. Okay.
Yeah, it'll work for right now.
All right. Well, Mojo, how you been doing?
I'm good. I would like to tell everyone about Hey Dude sneakers. Have you heard about these?
No, I remember the old Nickelodeon Hey Dude, and I had a crush on one of the actresses. I'm sure that's surprising to everyone.
A couple of my customers have told me about this, and it has changed my life. So these are like shoes, they're like a cross between dad lawn cutting shoes and Crocs. So they're very comfortable. Yeah.
Okay.
I never spend money on myself.
That is true.
I'm very frugal. You can attest to that. So I may have had a couple too many bourbons when I was on my 4-day vacation, the first vacation I've had in 4 years. And so inebriated, inebriated Mojo ordered sober Mojo several of these Hey Dude shoes. So I just gotta tell you that they're butter. I mean, they're just like wearing wearable butter on your feet. So
I mean, butter's a key word today.
Yeah.
That's a couple times we've had that, but yeah, I mean, I check them out. I ordered mine from Amazon, had them in 2 days, bam, But also that's pollen season. Jesus, I think every time I talked about this for the past almost 5 years now, pollen season. I don't know about you guys.
Absolutely.
I've been on Claritin 24/7, man. This stuff's
No
crazy.
doubt. It has been a plague, I would say, at this point in the South, where it's just all over the place and it doesn't stop. The allergies will make you cough, cry, weep.
Everything.
Sneeze, eye water.
I'm sure you've seen the videos of someone cutting a tree down and just the pollen plume that comes with. It's crazy.
Helicopter flying over the trees and just this huge plume of
yeah,
absolutely.
It's been awful. It's not a good thing here in the South, but hey, every year we decide to do it. I'd rather deal with pollen than earthquakes in California or tornadoes in Kansas. So, or hurricanes on the coast. So I'll take this all day, every day. A little allergy.
It's miserable though for about 2 months.
Right.
And then it clears up.
And then it's hot as Hades.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, this is, and then probably, around, November, you're like, okay, this is tolerable.
Yeah.
And then it hits back again in June. Or
it don't matter. We complain the whole, all 12 months we complain.
Yeah. So. All that. It has been a handle for me. Guys, I did something this week that I've never done in my life. My wife asked me to cook dinner the other day, and I got so dizzy and disoriented and like out of it. She went to go pick up small batch and I had to call the ambulance. I actually called 911 and I was like, I need you guys to come here. Something's going on. And so they rushed over everything. They checked me out. Everything was fine. Blood pressure was fine. Sugar was fine. Like, I don't have any of that stuff to deal with. They're like, I don't know what it could be, but if it happens again, call us back. So I was like, all right, no problem. And then that night, I felt a rumbling in the tummy, and man, I tell you, I got sick so fast and so quick. I don't know what happened. It was coming up the upstairs and the downstairs. And as you say, Mojo, you could poop on a screen door and not hit a wire. Man, it was bad for about 3 days. And so evidently I was extremely dehydrated. And so we're dealing with that. Small batch got sick. My wife got sick. So all three of us are at the house, just not feeling good at all. Daycare, nope, she's sick. She can't come in. We took her to the doctor, everything else. So, and it came down to just the daycare crud. So not only are we paying you a mortgage payment a month, you also give us a nice handy, daycare crud that we got to deal with. So, I mean, I know you can't help it, but God bless, that was horrible. 3 days of just.
Sounds like everything. Those bidets were working overtime.
Man, that was a godsend to put those things in. I'm telling you.
Well, don't feel bad. There was evidently something going around. So I've had my guys out from work and I've had a small bit of stock play in the Imodium AD market. So, yeah.
Well, I looked on the interwebs and they said, don't take Imodium AD, but last night was the last night. I was like, I can't not do this again. So I popped in Imodium AD, which in fact will stop a radiator leak. And buddy, that just cleared that sucker up so quick. It was,
it's like colon flex. Yeah. It's like colon flex seal.
Absolutely. So it was quite a disaster at the house, but we made it through. All right, guys, let's go through the Southern phrase of the week. Let's go to it's over yonder. I'm sure you guys have heard that before. Over yonder is a distant direction. In any direction when you're in the South, you need to ask someone for directions, and the phrase over yonder might be their answer. Where is the nearest restaurant? They'll say, oh, it's just over yonder and down the road. The distance, though, could be emphasized with the addition of the word way, as in way over yonder. So, there's your Southern phrase of the week. You guys have used that before. It's over yonder.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you guys this question. Have you guys got stuck? Well, not stuck, but have you been in like the Chick-fil-A line where you've got somebody in front of you pays for your meal?
Mm-hmm.
Have you had that happen yet?
Yeah, I've had that.
Maybe
I
not
had that.
Chick-fil-A, but maybe some other restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, I got stuck in that late last week. And then you feel obligated to pay for the person behind you. Well, I was like, okay, let me go ahead and do that. No big deal. My stuff was like $7. What's the person going to be behind me? So I pull up, I give them the card, and they're like, well, they already paid for you. And I said, okay, well, I'll pay for the person behind me. How much is theirs? $34.50.
Oh.
It's like, I don't want to be the guy that breaks the love, but $34.50? What would you guys do? I'm in the dilemma. What do you guys do for that?
What would Jesus do?
Oh, you got to bring that up.
Yeah,
got to bring that up.
You got to call the play off the bench there. I think. I'm not saying you're obligated to. You can break it. It's not like it's going to get 7 years of bad luck or anything like that. But it's a feel good moment. It's one of those, endorphin, dopamine, adrenaline. You did some good deeds. So I get it. I've been stuck that way too before. Keeping the chain going. So,
Magic Man, what would you do there?
That's a tough one because I don't know. I'd probably go ahead and do it. To keep the good thing going. I don't want to break that, but that does suck when your meal's little and the person. But I'm sure the person behind you would greatly appreciate it, especially if the person behind them has a $7 meal.
Yeah, just think about it. What if that person that had that $34 meal was picking up food for someone that was passing away in a hospital? And you got to be a blessing to them. I mean, that's only a $28 difference for a blessing. Yeah.
No,
but I get it.
I thought about, well, maybe I just pay for my $7 and just call it a day, here's my $7 and do that. But then I got to thinking too, what if they're picking up for The Office and then they got to take it back and either they're not truthful and they just keep the $34, or they have to divvy everything back up because everybody's wanting change or whatever. So I don't know. Well,
the good thing is Karen at the office will most likely have her own separate bag. So it wouldn't be a combined bill. It'd be someone who wanted exact change back. So
okay,
I think you're all right.
Yeah.
Did you do it or did you not?
No, I did it. I felt
I knew
bad.
I knew you would.
You said, it was $28, but man, I was like, this is one expensive Chick-fil-A run. So it was kind of rough.
That only happens at Chick-fil-A. That never happens at Popeyes.
You're right. That is true. So maybe that's the key. Just keep going to Popeyes.
Yeah, Popeyes or Zaxby's because they have a pretty good sandwich. Yeah.
All right. So you've kind of listened or at least been privy to the Chicken Madness bracket that we did, brought to you by Red Hill Brewing. What did you think? You've had the KFC sandwich, you've had the Zaxby's sandwich. What did you think?
I'm finally glad to see these other chains that have been kind of like KFC is antiquated, man. I mean, like KFC is quickly becoming the Captain D's. Like there's an underbelly of society that keeps KFC in business. like, I mean, how many people do you honestly know that go to KFC? Yeah, let's go to KFC tonight.
Yeah, not many.
Yeah. So I'm glad to see their game step up a little bit.
Mhm.
Hospitality at Zaxby's and KFC, 100 times better than Popeyes. I mean, you go to order a sandwich at Popeyes, and I hope hope they listen.
Mhm.
You're expecting to throw hands with someone at the KFC drive or the Popeyes drive-through. So
Yeah, that's
Your meal
true.
comes with a side of attitude.
100%. I'm kind of partial to KFC. I think they did a little better than Zaxby's, even though Zaxby's has the sauce.
They do have the sauce.
So
Yep.
yeah, we still got to try the Church's chicken. They just came out with their own one.
There's a Church's, and then evidently Burger King has come out with one that's supposed to be amazing as well. So maybe that'll happen for the 2022. We'll get those ones in, and we'll see how those turn out. I honestly can't. I'll probably go a year without eating another chicken sandwich. There's a lot.
Chicken
I'll
sandwich.
I'll probably have one tonight. But Culver's, the Midwest chain that's now infiltrated our area.
Yeah.
I would like to see them up their chicken game because right now they have the 1989 BK chicken patty filet So I'm hoping
they had a chicken sandwich.
They do. It's not their heavy hitter. I mean, they're well known for their burgers and custard, but I'd like to see them kind of enter the chicken game a little bit. But no, Zaxby's. I mean, you don't expect at Zaxby's. I mean, it's
that's true.
Pretty decent food, but yeah.
You said Culver's?
Culver's, yes.
Yeah, I actually went to one in Kentucky, and
you don't have to drive all the way there. There's one near you.
Well, this was this was about 7-8 years ago, but no, the people that were there, they said you got to go try Culver's. They have this bun with butter on it.
Burger.
And yeah, it was good stuff for sure.
Yeah. Culver's is I mean, it is not for if you're on a cholesterol diet. Don't go there at all, or actually any of the restaurants above mentioned. But Culver's is. The good thing about Culver's, man, geez, they're like the Chick-fil-A of burgers. I mean, their staff is spot on. They're like the the Whataburger of Texas, or they're just like pure hospitality. They instill that in all the employees. So I'm not officially sponsored by them, but I personally I will take it. I will put a Culver's badge on my truck right now.
Wow, that's strong.
Where I'm at now, I mean they rock the world here. So
cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Also, in a surprise twist, Steak and Shake has a garlic butter burger. That's pretty good.
I don't want to be shot though.
I mean, there's one by the Wally World over here that's decent. And all right, and then here's this too. If you go, because I've been, I go by and do the Walmart pickup, the grocery pickup, and then there's a Steak and Shake right by there, and then they have a thing now where it's like free fries with no purchase necessary. So
really?
I got small batch in the back. I go through, I get my little, I get my groceries. I go through Steak and Shake. I just say, I like free fries. They say, okay. Put the fries in the bag. I'm on my way home. I'm throwing some to her. I'm throwing some to me. No purchase necessary. Boom. That is horrible marketing. Horrible.
They still have the shoestring fries?
Yeah. Yeah. They're perfect for small batches hands. Yeah.
I haven't been to Steak and Shake since I was escorted out of one in Missouri. So it's been a while.
I like the seasoning they have too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's good stuff. All right. I don't know if you guys have noticed, I'm wearing a Kentucky shirt. Magic Man mentioned Kentucky. Mm-hmm. Mojo, we know how bad a basketball season that we've had for Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, the Blue Chippers. But this is how bad it's gotten in Kentucky. The women of Kentucky volleyball, they won the national championship in volleyball. This is the first time that the SEC has ever won a volleyball championship. This is the first time Kentucky obviously has ever won a national championship in volleyball. And And so everybody was so excited that Kentucky won something that they burned couches down on State Street, which is normally a tradition that we do for basketball or a very big football game. But we're so starved for a win that women's volleyball, we all rallied around it. The Big Blue Nation, my wife and I watched it. We got excited when we won. And they burnt couches, and there was madness in the streets because of the women's national volleyball championship. It's kind of crazy. Go Cakes.
I wonder, you got to think, did you guys memorize any of the position names, like the setter or the outside hitter? Were you guys like pulling for any certain females there that?
Well, they've got two sisters that are on the team, and so it's kind of good to pull for them. They've got a libero that is a freshman, so it was good to pull for her as well. So you kind of got to know the names as you went along, but it was quite interesting.
Every once in a while in sports, you have that fluke. And this is probably the last time y'all asked me to come back on, but women's sports can be kind of boring. Like you never see like people get excited about WNBA or anything like that, but like women's U.S. soccer, remember the craze with that when we were snapping necks and cashing checks. We were all rallied behind that. So that's good to see Kentucky get behind something other than their abhorrent basketball team that no one can stand. But as far as basketball this year, we got definitely men's basketball. We got to put an asterisk by this season. This season was off the rails.
We'll just blame it on COVID.
100%. Actually, we have a new president. We can blame it on Biden. You got 4 years of blaming Biden. It don't matter. It's just it goes with it. So, COVID or Biden, those are acceptable blaming areas that we can use.
Okay. Have you guys ever gotten a song stuck in your head?
Yeah, Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah,
earworm. Yeah,
yeah. Since Small Batch has been home, Daniel Tiger and Sesame Street have become earworms in my head. But how do you get rid of these earworms? And remember, Mojo, we talked about this before, that the number one song to listen to is the Night Court theme song to get it out of your head. However, a new study has come out saying that one other way that you can get it out is by chewing gum. The University of Reading UK says the best way to treat earworms is to chew gum. Why we get them isn't entirely clear, but one culprit is the brain's auditory cortex, which by chewing the gum can kind of refresh that and get it out of your head. So that says that it works 90% of the time. I don't know if we want to try that or not, but next time you get one in your head, maybe chew some gum. The other thing that they suggest is to do some type of brain activity that it doesn't push you too hard, like a really tough Sudoku problem or, jigsaw puzzle or whatever, but you don't want it to be too easy. Like, I don't know, just an easy Sudoku problem. I don't know, but
putting an IKEA desk together.
That's a good one.
Easy. Yeah.
I
have almost filed for divorce because of for putting together IKEA furniture.
I don't care how many times.
I actually put together a shelf the other week before last, and it went pretty good.
To talk about it.
How many extra pieces did you have, though?
3 or 4 little screws.
You always have extra pieces. I'm telling you.
That's because sometimes people will drop something and it'll go rolling down a vent or something. And so you have
just love us too much.
They just no. Yeah.
They say that some of the biggest earworm songs are "Single Ladies" by Beyonce, "Bad Romance" by Lady Gaga, "I Want to Hold Your Hand" by the Beatles, and also "Let It Go" from the movie Frozen. Any of those get stuck in your head?
No, none of them.
No. Let it go.
One from
Let
my
it go.
oldest daughter, Fruit Salad by the Wiggles.
Okay.
All right. Toxic by Britney Spears,
Okay.
which is
That's
also a
good one.
guilty pleasure song. So,
Mhm.
and there's a song by Kelly Clarkson. I cannot remember the name of the song now, unfortunately, but it's one of those things that roll in your head every once in a while. So, yeah.
Magic Man, any earworm songs for you?
Good question.
I think Mbop for me, as you think about that, Mbop is one. That dang Daniel Tiger song right now is a tough one.
I had one earlier today. There was that group Lynn with Steal My Sunshine from like 2000. I don't know if you remember that. It's 20 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are going to actually hold off on Dear Mojo because our guest is with us. So we will hold off on that and we will go to our guest. Let me go ahead and bring Anthony on. Anthony is from Grill Rescue. And so we'll talk to him as we bring him up.
Oh, good. I have a question.
Hey, Anthony, can you hear us?
Yeah. How's it going, guys?
Great. How are you doing?
Doing great, man.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining. Thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. Again, I know you don't have much time, so we'll try to make it as quick as we can.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on here.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. All right, so we're going to bring you on, and then we'll just kind of ask our questions, and we want to hear your story, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right, well, joining us now, Anthony. Oh, boy, this is going to be a tough one. How do you say that last name, buddy? Tranquita. All right. He is with Grill Rescue, a company that has created an amazing product. And as we get into grilling season, I really want to push this product. You know that I've pushed products here on the show before, but by goodness, this one is one that I really enjoy, that we need to get the word out. So, Anthony, can you tell us what is Grill Rescue? And I've got my Grill Rescue here. My little pad here. So it's not something that I'm just talking about. I actually use this thing quite often. Can you tell us what is Grill Rescue?
Yeah, so Grill Rescue is simply put a grill brush, but you probably are used to your traditional grill brush. You might have something with wires in it. A big safety concern, I don't know if you or a lot of the listeners have heard, but the wire bristles can actually break off of those brushes, land on your grill grates. Next time you cook a burger or a steak, the metal bristle can actually get stuck in the meat that you're cooking. And if you swallow it, you're probably going to be taking a trip to the emergency room. So not too great. So we've combated that with this product that we call Grill Rescue. And the whole point behind it is it uses steam to clean. So basically you get your grill really hot, you dump this thing in water, and water plus heat equals steam. And it cleans it that simply. There you go.
Absolutely. And what is this material made out of? What is this?
So it's very similar to like a Kevlar. The purpose behind it is so my partner, Scott, he's actually a firefighter. And Kevlar is what you use in what's called bunker gear, which is the stuff that firefighters wear, which is the same material that is in that. So, the technical term for it is aramid fiber, but you could think of it as pretty much similar to Kevlar.
So if I get a bunch of these and I strap them to myself, it's going to stop a bullet. Is that right?
If you layered enough of them in front of it, it's, I wouldn't try it. We personally have not tried to shoot ourselves, but theoretically, yes, it could. It actually could.
I think that's a YouTube video. We need to make that happen.
Yeah.
Well, as long as I'm not the dummy, I'm all for it.
Sure. Well, I'll be honest with you. I never heard of the steel brushes breaking off until I was going through, the Facebook feeds and flipping through. And a friend of mine, he got one of them got stuck in his throat. And then another one got stuck in his stomach. And I didn't realize this was an issue. And then not too far, I was eating a hamburger and I looked and I found one in my own hamburger.
Oh, kidding. Well, you got lucky you noticed it.
No doubt. And because I noticed they had the steel brush and I'm like, I'm going to be very careful with this and move on. So, it's huge. So if you're grilling, please, what's the website? Grillrescue.com?
You got it.
Okay. go out there and pick one of these things up. Also, I don't know if, I don't know if you're a Second Amendment guy or whatnot, but if you need self-protection, this handle right here, good gosh, this is a mighty force. I mean, you could knock somebody on the head with that thing, and it's heavy. It's heavy duty.
You'll notice in some of our videos, you actually see us running it over with a Jeep, showing how strong it really is. So it's made out of like a food grade safe polypropylene. So it's like all the similar material that you'll find in all your other spatulas or like plastic cookware. The only difference is ours is not hollow on the inside. That is a solid piece of plastic. You can actually throw that thing right on the grill and it'll take a long time for it to burn. So everything we do is super high temp rated. So obviously it's going on a really hot grill. You don't want to have an issue.
Yeah. And and these like little heads are reusable. You could buy these all you want. And in fact, you've come out, I mean, Grill Rescue has come out with some really cool stuff. The one that I had doesn't have the scraper, but you've got that. What are the other products that you guys have?
So yeah, in addition to the grill brush and the apparel, a lot of people like our funny aprons that we have out there. In addition to all that stuff, we actually last year we just launched a product called Beer Buddy. So you might be used to, a Yeti to keep your drinks cold, and there are some other products out there that'll keep your beer bottle cold. There's another product out there that'll keep your beer can cold. Another one if you want your skinny can cold, and so on and so forth. But you would have to buy 5 or 6 of these different types of insulators. So Beer Buddy is basically an all-in-one. You can pour liquid in it to keep your drinks cold. You can put a beer bottle in it. You can put a can in it, a skinny can. It holds pretty much any type of beer bottle or can all in one device. So you only need one thing instead of 6.
That's awesome. What's next for you guys?
So a couple things are coming out. Kind of rewind back to the bristle thing. We're actually starting a petition pretty soon because we want to eliminate metal bristles for good. We're not saying, hey, absolutely, throw yours out and buy our product. Obviously, we would love that. But more importantly, we want to, especially as my partner being a firefighter, we really want to stop seeing people go to the emergency room for what seems like such a silly issue, but it is also very real. And until you hear about it or know someone that's happened to, it seems like it's far-fetched and that, the classic saying, that'll never happen to me.
Right.
So we want to start a petition to see if we can ban these things for good. I know it's a long shot, but I think that we could definitely make some headway. The company's definitely growing. We're getting a lot of popularity. So I really think that we can at least try to make a dent and, if nothing else, raise awareness for the issue. In addition to that, as far as, new products and whatnot coming out, we're always looking to better ourselves. So pretty soon, I can't give too much detail, but we are coming out with another product in the beverage insulator space. So what I can tell you is that if you have a tumbler already, like a Yeti or, one of those other brands, Yeti's the most popular, this product will actually work in tandem with that. So you don't actually have to buy too much else to make this thing work.
A Yeti for a Yeti. It'll stay cold for 9 days. Well, no, we can't put Yeti out of business. I own quite a bit of stock.
Well, no, this would actually help Yeti.
Gotcha.
So
okay,
it
perfect.
wouldn't be putting them out of business. This would work in tandem with them.
Perfect. Gentlemen, questions, please.
Yeah, flat grill safe.
Yeah, Blackstone, I assume you're talking about grills like that. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. What's your personal grill setup?
So I'll tell you what, I run through all kinds of grills and I don't have any specific one for me. I do so much research and development with our brushes and everything. I destroy my grills so fast. And I run through all kinds of stuff because we want to make sure this product works for everything, and we put them to the ultimate test. We're burning our grills over 1,000 degrees. We're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So you wouldn't believe how nasty my grills get before I have to replace them. So I can't really have a preference because I've used quite a bit of them. And I run through them way too fast.
Yeah, but I'm sure you have a Saturday night games coming on. You have a couple beer buddies out. What and you got some nice choice ribeyes. What kind of grill are you throwing it on?
It's honestly whatever I have at the moment.
They haven't burned up. I got you.
Yeah. It's the current one that I'm using. So it's usually one at a time. So I'll have one here at my place. My partner has another one at his house, so we can test on 2 different ones at the same time with 2 different people. So right now I actually have, oh man, I don't even know what brand it is, but I know it's a 6-burner. It has a deep fryer on the side, which I absolutely love. That thing is great.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can't think of it.
So what, who came up with this idea to do this? I mean, because I'm fascinated by small business.
Yeah, great question. So it's a good combination between me and my partner, Scott. So as I mentioned, he's a firefighter. In these cases, he's heard about him before, being an EMT and all that stuff. But I actually, I was at my cousin's house, and he grabs a pair of tongs and gets his grill really hot, grabs a wet cloth and starts rubbing it on his grill. And I see that steam's coming off this thing. And my initial thought is like, okay, that worked way too easily. I'm sure something exists that's better than grabbing tongs and ruining cloths every other day. So I got on Google, did some research, and I was blown away that none of this worked. I started thinking, well, that's the same thing that they do when you go to like a hibachi restaurant. They grab a cloth, some water, and like you said, like a flat grill, they clean it the same way. So I was shocked that something like this didn't exist. So I actually made a really horrible prototype using a handle from another type of grill brush. I manufactured like this piece of wood and then wrapped it in cloth and stuck it all together. And I think actually, if you look at our Kickstarter page, you'll see the original prototype I created. It was really poorly done, but it worked. So that's when Scott, he was actually over my house one day, and I think we were grilling lobster, and he saw me clean the grill with this prototype, and he asked what it was about. And I showed him the whole thing, and probably about a year or 2 years go by that he was pressing me like, hey, we should really do this thing. We should really do this thing. And I had other businesses that I was really invested in at the time. And I'm like, I don't really have the time to do it. But boy, now am I glad that I did. So eventually he convinced me to partner up. He's like, look, because he has a lot of experience with manufacturing. So he said, I'll manufacture this thing if you can market it. So that's kind of the beginning of it.
Do you prefer charcoal or gas grills?
I'm really starting to like pellets. The one I have right now is propane. However, I think the pellets just seem like, I don't know if it's just a laziness thing, because I can't Amazon Prime propane to my house, but I can pellet.
Yeah, but also the pellets like the crock pot of cooking. Like literally, I can go to work at 6 a.m, throw on something, slow temp, come home, pull the bone out,
very
bam.
Good point.
Yeah,
very good point.
It's like a man crock pot.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, don't market it. Call me. We'll split that.
Well, I got a question for you. Another question for you. So I have this charcoal grill. It's a char grill, and it's charcoal, and it has the cast iron grates on it. I have not used this grill in probably 3 years. So you can imagine those grates are rustier than a 56 Chevy in a junkyard. Do you have any recommendations on how to bring the grill back so that way we can use it to cook on again?
Rust is tough, and I want to be cautious with saying use any type of like rust remover, because that'll just destroy the grates themselves. I mean, honestly, I would just buy new grill grates. They make them for every every type of grill. So if they're rusted beyond use that you don't want to put food on it, adding water to the mix is probably not going to solve your problem. So I would definitely suggest probably just replace them. They're not super expensive, and you don't really want to be eating rust.
Yeah, no.
Well, plus you end up in the ER with like a grill grate shard in your throat.
Yeah, now you got a whole nother problem.
Yeah. Get lockjaw from the grill.
Oh my.
There are products out there though. There are products out there that claim to work. I'm not going to knock anything, but from what I've used, removing rust off the grill grates, it just doesn't seem right.
Actually, I think if you probably use your grill brush and re-season it with like some type of fat.
Yeah, you absolutely
work,
could.
yeah.
Even some, oil. It'll help. But if I don't know how rusty they are, but how you're defining it sounds like it's pretty far gone. I don't know if I'd try it.
I mean, it was a fairly new grill back then, 3 years ago, and I've used it a couple of times, and then we just really haven't had the opportunity since. So it's probably mostly surface rust. To be honest with you, I haven't looked at it in about a year.
Yeah, if
so,
that's all it is, you might be able to just scrape it off. You
Yeah.
might be okay.
yeah.
The question is, why haven't you grilled in 3 years? That's the thing that
Isn't that sad?
is asking me.
Yeah.
During COVID, you could be grilling everything out. The
Everything.
the neighbor's cat, vegetables, everything. Not toilet paper. That was a hot commodity. But
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Speaking of neighbors, if you're grilling at 1,000 degrees, what do your neighbors think about this?
I have no idea. Fortunately, they haven't said anything. I make sure when I do that, I keep it far away from the house because that's how house fires start.
And you got to call the ambulance. There's a fire department.
What are you using? What are you using? Napalm? Used car tires? I mean, what are you using for?
If you put some flammable stuff on those grates and you crank all 6 burners, that thing will get hot. I promise you.
Sure.
Probably has some turbo or superchargers on it.
I'm a small business guy myself. So what are some encouraging advice, input, lessons you've learned, mistakes you would try to avoid, any encouragement you can give to any other small business people out there looking to start up?
The biggest thing I can say is, number one, realize that you don't know everything. Because I think a lot of people, when they start, they want to pretend that there's something they're not, which is easy to fall into. The second thing is, know that you are going to fall on your face 100 times before something works. This is definitely not the first thing I've invented. It's definitely not the first thing that I've tried to do. I have tried so many other products, so many other services before this. Some of them work, some of them are great, and some of them are just an absolute disaster. So it could take 10 years before you get something right. But if you stick with it, you're almost guaranteed to figure it out.
That's kind of what we're hoping for this podcast.
Yeah, man. I appreciate and respect the hustle. Like I get it. And I think if you are open to, like I said before, asking for advice and really finding someone who is in the position that you want to be in, and ask those people. Don't ask your friend who's never done a podcast before. You wouldn't ask relationship to advice from a single guy. So I would say find someone who you respect, someone who's already in the position that you want to be in, and ask that person for advice, because anyone else is just not going to be helpful.
Yeah, I think any small business person who's worth their salt will be able to help someone out that's trying to start up. I mean,
yeah, we've all been there before. We know what it's like.
We just want to see someone succeed. Absolutely. I mean, create their own balance, their own future, their own walk. So yeah, perfect.
Well, Anthony, I reached out to you about a year ago, and we've been trying to set this up and wanted to wait till after COVID, and then everything hit. But Mojo, when we talked about it initially, you said that you would use aluminum foil to clean off your grill. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, well, I'm going to try it. I'm going to trust my friend and try it. But when I tried it, I was getting aluminum shards everywhere. I was like, well,
that's probably because you have a nasty ass rusty grate,
that's probably
exactly
Magic Man does. Yeah,
that could be it.
Yeah, so I can speak to the aluminum foil thing. I don't mean to cut you guys off, but
no.
In your case, you would want to scrape those grates really good before using the foil, because you might have, like he said, rusted grates or really hard piece of old chicken on there or something that's just shredding it up.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm going to stick to my grill rescue. How about that?
I appreciate it.
And I probably need to buy some new ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of tricks out there. There's a lot of tricks. The aluminum foil, there's the classic onion trick, and they don't not work. But maybe I'm very biased, but the hassle of cutting a half onion and throwing it out and then doing it again the next day, especially if you're grilling often, it makes sense to just have a quality brush.
Yeah. One thing I did find on it is I don't want to go too fast, because if I go too fast, the steam gets my arm. So I've been careful on that piece.
Yeah. So we recommend like wearing a grill glove of some sort, just so that doesn't happen. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to press super hard. You can take it slow and it gets the job done.
I've heard that before. Well, Anthony, again, thank you so much for coming on the show. Any other questions, guys?
No, just excited to see someone who create their own future. I mean, my passion for small business. So that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
And I think right now that you have a double deal going on now. It's 22% off of everything on the site. Is that correct? Using promo code double deal.
Actually, you might have missed it already if you didn't get it. So I don't want to put that out there yet. But stick around, join the email list. Forgive my dogs. And you'll see some more deals in your inbox if you just sign up.
Okay, gentlemen, I will be ordering each of you guys, a grill rescue brush. So you guys will have your very own coming shortly.
How about this?
I just carded them.
I'm gonna send you all one so that way you don't have to.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
That.
Man, that's better than Oprah Winfrey. You get a brush. You get a brush.
Everybody gets a brush.
No, we appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Feel free to shoot me an email with some info, and I'll get them out to you guys.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anthony.
I'll let you know how it works on my rusty grill.
Yeah, please let me know. Take a before and after.
Sure.
All right, have a good one.
All right, take care, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Picture of him in the hospital getting a tetanus shot. That's going to be priceless.
Yeah.
I will say, I really have enjoyed this product. It's been, easy to use and stuff. So, and honestly, the thing that got me was the Facebook posts of seeing people with their x-rays, and you could see that little thing in there. And I had no idea that it was an issue. Yeah. So y'all just, I
don't think it's I worked in the restaurant industry for 20 years and never had anyone be like, oh, you've heard of it, you find it, but if you have something that's a better method of cleaning, 100%. And he's right. The hibachi restaurants, the teppanyaki restaurants that do the, grilling, the hibachi style. Yeah, they use steamed rags. That's a classic trick. And what he's kind of done is a better version of that. That's consumer friendly. So yeah, get behind the guy. I think it's a great product.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you get yours, will you just do me a favor and then just wipe your camera off with it? That'd be great.
That's worse.
Yeah, that made it worse.
You need a real rescue to fix it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I was just joking.
There
you go. That's much better.
I still look horrible. So that's right.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll go to, instead of having wacky news, again, we leave that for producer Brian. We are going to go to the old tried and true Dear Mojo, which we haven't done in quite some time. So here's some Dear Mojo for us. These are Dear Abby, articles or questions that went into Dear Abby. We're going to read them and then see what Mojo says, and then we'll compare them to what Abby says and go from there. By the way, Abby is passed away. And now there's somebody else that's doing her articles. I think it's Ann.
Isn't that her sister?
If you got some time.
Dear Annie?
I don't think so. Maybe Dear Annie. If you look that up, I don't think you'll be too.
It's not the same.
I'll just say upgrade. All right, so here's the question. Dear Abby, I'd like advice on how to handle a problem that crops up from every time my family members invite me out to dinner that they are paying for. Mojo, nice shades, by the way.
That's my thinking glasses.
I feel like this one hits you and me because every time we go out to eat and we have an issue with who pays. So
there's
we'll
no
see
issue.
How this goes. Well, there's an issue.
There's never issue.
I hate that issue. I know the rule of etiquette is to order an item that's the same or less than what the host is ordering, but I am often asked to order first. This means I have no idea what the payer's meal will cost. If it means ordering something on the menu other than what I'd rather have, a burger instead of a steak, in that case, should I offer to pay for my own meal? What if they won't hear of taking any money from me? Can I still order the steak since my offer to pay was refused? Likes to follow the rules.
There is no rules. If someone invites you out to eat, they're obviously wanting your company, right? They also, if someone's anticipating on paying, they don't care if you order the extra bowl of queso with pico and chips. They don't care. They don't care if you order the extra, whatever. they enjoy your company, and they also want to pay because it's out of love, not obligation. So you don't have to feel like you have to trim back on whatever you're going to order. You're not going to order a side quesadilla versus the picadillo. You're going to order what the hell you want. I mean,
Okay.
and it's not an obligation. It's just they love you.
All right. Magic Man, what are your thoughts?
Wow, I wasn't prepared for this, but yeah.
I know.
But
know.
no, I like what Mojo said. I agree. A lot of times when someone goes to eat with you, or you go to eat with somebody, it's because they want to be with you and you want to be with them. Well, that doesn't sound right, does it? You enjoy each other's company.
Actually, that's how my first date started.
Woo-hoo, yeah. But no, you enjoy each other's company, and one of the ways you build relationships is eating good food together.
Yeah,
and plus, the person paying it may give them some joy knowing that they did something like that for you. They pay for your food.
There you go. Going back to the old Chick-fil-A, pay it forward. So this is what Dear Abby says. A way to get around ordering first might be to say, I haven't decided yet. I'd like to hear what others are ordering. However, if you would be uncomfortable doing that and your host won't let you have a separate check, be a gracious guest and enjoy every bite of your steak dinner. So there you go.
Yeah, but see, I'm bad with decisions on food.
You're horrible at it.
Yeah. So if I have my mind set on the number 6 combo, and I hear everyone talk about it, everything that they order sounds more delicious than I second guess my number 6 combo. So yeah, just do your thing. Just order first.
So for those of you that like the behind the scenes, this is our exact issue almost every time we go to Fiesta Mexicano.
Yeah.
So
it'd be our same issue anywhere. Yeah,
that is true. Which, by the way, can we please try the Afton place? I really want you to go there.
Wherever you want to go, let's do it.
All right.
I do want to try the Bebo's charcoal beef. Have you been there yet? No comment. Gotcha.
Here's the deal about Bebo's. I feel like if I had the choice of Bebo's or Penn Station chicken teriyaki, I would choose Penn Station chicken teriyaki. I like that very much. It's good, but it's not the best cheesesteak I've ever had. It's just missing.
I gotcha.
Now,
well, I want to up your game. There's a Amish deli near me. We have to go.
Done to make it happen.
All
right. Here's the second one. My husband and I have been married for almost 6 most blissful years, but recently some fantasies have started to worry me. About 6 months ago, he told me he had an attraction to women with amputations. Naturally, I was confused. I didn't even know that was a thing, but I accepted it, even though I thought it was odd. 3 months ago, he asked me to do some role playing where we hid my leg under a towel to give the appearance of having a below the knee amputation, which he says is his favorite. I didn't like it, but I went ahead with it. But now things are getting to be too much for me. He recently told me that he recently told me that not only he finds amputees attractive, but he wants to be one. What do I do? Signed, in weird territory. Y'all.
So
that's all you, Mojo.
Here's some red flags here. If he buys a 1980s, 90s Econo Ford line van with no windows, if he's has a weird fetish for making his own custom lampshades,
okay.
If he has an affinity for having his own butterfly, cicada, aquarium, hatchery, if he all of a sudden starts digging a well, yeah, I would. I'm going to say this. Yeah, I've been married for 24 years, almost 25. And
oh boy!
Everyone you want to spice things up every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But there is kind of a borderline there's a border there. I'm going to say he's probably 20 miles past that border. And yeah, I mean, he crossed all the checkpoints. He has no passport. He went over the border with a coyote. I mean, he is.
And he drove the van to get there.
Yeah, a van that says "free puppies" on the side. I do.
Oh, I needed that one.
I'm sure you love the guy, but I would probably run. I'm just going to say, yeah.
Your advice is run.
You don't want to end up. Right. You don't want to end up in a tub full of ice in Tijuana, Mexico,
sure.
with a limb missing. I mean, I'm just no personal experience. I'm just saying, you know.
Sure. No, I got you on that one. This is Dear Abby. The name Dear in Weird Territory. The name of your husband's fetish is body integrity identity disorder. Name disorder there for a second. This is important that you learn more about it, and I am recommending that you do some research on the subject. You will find more information on the internet. Probably wouldn't Google that. You should also consult a licensed psychotherapist. Yep, to help you decide whether this fetish is something you are prepared to live with, or it's time to end your marriage. So that's pretty much sums up run. No, I agree with you. All right.
Yeah.
I'm all about letting your freak flag fly, but
right, sure.
Where it could be potentially harmful to your digits or limbs. Sure. Yeah, that's yeah.
Might want to back away. All right. Last but not least, last year, my across the street neighbor backed into my car. At least that's what I think what happened. My car was parked illegally on the street, and there was a huge dent in it. I called the police, and based on the location of the dent and the neighbor's driveway, the officer determined that the neighbor had backed into it. Furthermore, and this is a good clue, the light blue paint from my car was on her car's bumper. Well, that's a dead giveaway. Mm-hmm. When the officer went across the street, the neighbor came running out screaming at him. She was hysterical and belligerent, and she denied it. Eventually, the officer told me that even though he was certain that she did it, there was nothing that he could do since it was her word against mine. I never met this woman before, but she is mean. I often hear her screaming and cussing at her small children. Last week, I arrived at work to discover that my company had hired a new clerk. And I'll give you one guess who it is. I don't think she realizes that I'm her neighbor and I must interact with her often at work. And I've been professional but chilly towards her. At some point, she's going to see me in my yard and realize that I'm her neighbor. Should I clear the air now, or should I pretend it never happened? I'm still angry because she cost me a lot of money. Signed, Angry Neighbor. Ooh.
Well, number one, how do you live near someone and not know who your neighbor is or talk to them?
That's a good point.
That's
a good point.
You know me, that's against my DNA. I got to know everyone around me. Well, I mean, you can. Option A is to order one of those delicious edible arrangements, have it delivered to your house. You walk over to your said neighbor's house, hit their little Ring doorbell with edible arrangement sitting there visually in the camera. And then when they come to the door, you just straight throat punch them. just bam.
Oh, and the classic straight throat punch.
Yeah. And then when they call the cops, you're like, I have no clue what happened. You deny it. I mean, there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing because the edible arrangement covered up the evidence.
Sure. Can't even see it.
No. I think we deal with we've all had that salty person in our life, and that is just pure poison and venom. Number one, at the workplace, I think that person will probably weed themselves out. They will alienate themselves.
That's a good call.
Enough from the workforce that they'll ultimately be terminated or ostracized enough. Kind of like that. I'm not talking to that person where they'll get the hint and they'll quit. I'm still a big fan, even though I'm not the best example, but what would Jesus do? And I think you would lead in love. And I think as much as you can stomach it, you tolerate their existence and try to love them to their ability, because people like that are broken somehow. and you're trying to help find that brokenness. It's not your sole duty in life, but you interact with them however you can, and yeah, maybe you can offer them some type of something there to help maybe make them less salty. So
we've gone from love them like Jesus would to throat punch them.
But I mean, option A is always on the table. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Magic Man, any thoughts for you?
How about a topiary of a middle finger aimed at their front door?
Okay.
A topiary.
Well, that's never been used before.
Yeah, where would you get that? Topiaryarrangements.com? Is that a thing? Contact the grill rescue guy. He might be able to pull me up.
Hey, Uncle Liam might know somebody too.
No, that's absolutely true. He knows his
brought to you by Cow Dung Blossom Roses. Topiaryarrangements.com.
Actually, there is a site somewhere online where you can go and order animal feces to be delivered to somebody you don't like.
Yeah, they actually have a company who actually makes roses out of cow patties.
Nice.
How about
it? So yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Mojo, how have things been for you? I know, like you took a break from the show. Like you had the business. How's the business going? Do you want to promote Blue Collar?
I'm never a self promoter, but no, we've been doing awesome. We have gone from myself to 4 or 5 gals who work with me now. So
nice.
It's been awesome. Been able to ramp up. Yeah, just every day, just grateful for what we do. Even though you have frustrations in everything you do. We're in that second year of growth pains right now, but we don't have enough space for what we do, so we're trying to accommodate that and look at alternatives. And yeah, just way too many hours in a week. But it's when you have your career and hobby wrapped up in one, it makes it easier. But that's what I try to tell people all the time, even the people that work here, is that greatness never happens in career or monetarily without sacrifice. So you have to sacrifice at the beginning to have those comforts and rewards later. And that's what this is not my first time doing this. I mean, I've had other businesses, and yeah, you have to pay your dues forward for the long-term reward. And that's what I'm currently doing. Been very blessed. I mean, our family, since the last time I've been on, we've moved closer to my shop. Yeah, we've been very blessed. I mean, I'm still having to find underwear and shirts out of boxes, but we've moved into a house that we've looked for years, and yeah, I have my own space to put my bourbon collection now. It's probably all crappy bourbons. Yeah, it's probably all crappy bourbons, but looking forward to the next Biggins Bourbon Trail Tour, 2021 or 2022, whatever it is. But yeah, man, just it's crazy. I have no clue in the last time I was on, but man, it feels like forever. And and everyone's lives, like in your life with your kid and everything, that, I mean, just a week, so much changes. And in business, so much can change in 1 week. And we've experienced the highs and lows of COVID impacting your industry. And I mean, man, that'd just be a great segment just to talk about the workforce right now, with Uncle Joe handing out, money like a guy who just got the inheritance check from his dead grandmother at a strip club, just passing out cash left and right where people don't want to go to work, to supply chains breaking down. I'm in the motorcycle industry, so if you want a clutch cable for a custom build, yeah, you might want to wait 6 to 8 weeks. Don't wait. The supply chains are broken down. So it's just, the hurdles that we have to kind of endure that maybe weren't present 5 years ago. Are present now. So we're just all working through those. And yeah, it's just an interesting time, man. Thanks for asking. So.
Yeah, no problem. And to go back to your house, man, you've got a beautiful house, and I'm so grateful and thankful that you were able to get that. And I still think, just between you and me, and because nobody else is listening, I still think it's haunted, straight up. But
I mean, it possibly is. I mean, I granted, in my personal defense, I see about 3 rooms every day, just because I literally walk in, I go to the bathroom, take my clothes off, shower, go to bed, get up and rinse and repeat.
Sure.
But while we have a second here, while we're kind of being a little personal, so about 5.5 years ago, 5 years ago, I just celebrated my heart transplant anniversary 5 years ago, this past month. And shout out to my donor's mother, Lisa. Hopefully you're watching. She's in Colorado right now. Probably partaking in legal devil's lettuce. I don't know. I'm speculating. Anyway, so a little over 5 years ago, I was released from the hospital, and the host here, Biggin, bought me a pizza. My wife and I had maybe $10 in our account at the time, and trying to figure out how we're going to feed our family. And my BFF here bought us a pizza from our favorite pizza joint, and he paid it forward. And to this day, that inspires me. Man, I'm about to damn cry here on the show. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to try not to. But that today, and anytime I get the opportunity to pay it forward, if it's in a line or thinking ahead, I always think back to that pizza that my buddy brought me, and it fed my family that night. You just never know. We were not that type of people that would have a handout and expecting people to quote unquote bless us. But he met a need that night that I would commit legal acts in behalf of him if he asked, just because he has my unwavering loyalty. And it was over a damn pizza from the best pizza joint in Concord, North Carolina, Rosario's. I got to give them a shout out. But so
good stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, so hey, pay it forward. Chick-fil-A line, Starbucks.
Yeah.
I actually don't go to Starbucks. Starbucks is too expensive. You might have a $1,200 tab with 4 coffees, but Chick-fil-A is a good option.
Well, I'll remember as well, and I don't know if you remember or you could remember, but I also remember there were other folks that spent a couple hours packaging meals for you guys so we could throw them in the freezer for you guys. So it was, we I don't know if they were any good or not, but they were supposed to be easy bake, easy cook or whatever. But we made sure that you guys were taken care of for a while, and it's because of love. And I think you're right. It's paying it forward, but also realizing how much you're blessed. Just calling the ambulance this week, it was just wow. It was, I never thought I'd do that, but it does change perspective, and things definitely aren't there. And another thing I've been doing this week is every time somebody crosses my mind, just try to text them and just say, hey, just thinking about you. Just know that you're loved. And so, yeah, please do that. Share more love. I mean, good gracious, we need that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think this is a great opportunity. For the past, however, so many people have been on different sides of the fences, and we still may be. But this is a great time to reach out to those people you may have been disagreeable with, and try to make those encounters. You don't have to agree on everything, but realizing that you're now the ones that are toxic in your life, get rid of those people. But the ones that actually add benefit to your life, and you may disagree on something. I mean, you could be a Ford guy versus a Chevy, but the people that actually add benefit to your life in some way, it's like Biggin has said, if I come across your mind, send one of those, hey buddy, how you doing text. And you just never know how valuable a message like that can be to someone at a certain point in time. If they're coming across your mind, they're obviously coming across your mind for a reason. So
absolutely,
don't hesitate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Mojo, it's been good. I know things
Yeah.
are busy for you. It's been good to have you back on the show. I miss you. Thank you
appreciate
for
the
saying those
opportunity.
things. You're
See
never a stranger.
We'll see you at Fiesta that Sunday. All right.
Absolutely. Thanks again for coming on, and hopefully you'll be back.
Yeah, anytime.
Yep. Thanks again for tuning in to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. Hey, just remember, next week we've got Gwen Treversey. Again, she is with Lutheran Services Carolina. Just talking about her growing up in the foster care system, getting some behind-the-scenes look of what that's like growing up as a child in that, just the struggles that she's went through, and then now how she's helping fix the system and helping other foster kids find some love and some homes and some foster care folks that can help them. So she'll be on next week. We're looking forward to having her on the show. And as always, keep looking up.
Hey, guys.
You're listening to the SFP Radio Network.